Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Thursday's live morning practice. Today, our theme is going to be that very well-known hashtag Thoracic Thursday, which I will just explain. I've thrown this one in today because I figured that by about Thursday, if we have the kind of lifestyle that means that for most of the day we're sat at a desk and we're kind of rounding like this and we're sort of typing away, this area of the body, so all of this part and the back as well, that is the thoracic area. So I thought that today we could focus on opening up this area and counteracting some of and hopefully counteract some of that rounding that we perhaps have going on in the shoulders and back, because I think by this point we've probably done a few days in the office like this, and so I thought that would be a really nice little theme to go with today. And you can also link it to opening in a kind of mind sort of way. So where would you like to open your mind up towards? Is there an area of your life that you feel is, you'd like to go a bit further with, or you're a bit afraid to go somewhere? There's an area of your life where the doors are closed perhaps and you'd like them to open. So just thinking about how we can maybe be a little bit more open in our bodies, but also in our minds as well. So let's start in the usual way of sitting down on a chair or on the sofa and just wiggle yourself to the edge of the chair, because it just means that we're not going to be sort of slumping into the back of the chair and rounding here. And as I said, for the other days, the reason we're starting the practice sat down is because if we start lying down, we may just fall asleep. And that's a very real reality for many of us. So coming to a nice comfortable seated position, bring your feet so they're about hip width apart and a perpendicular angle with the knees. And then just take a look at your feet and just start to feel into them and make sure that you've got all four corners of the feet planted into the ground. And there's a light attention through the body, but we're not tensing any muscles. We're just sort of sinking into our seat. Take your attention to the sit bones and the hips, the pelvis. Just notice what it feels like. And again, make sure that your weight is evenly balanced here. And with that nice connection with the earth there and this connection here with our seat, just allow that to bring your torso to an upright position. With the shoulders relaxing down, you can do a couple of shoulder rolls just to ease into it. Maybe a little bit left to right, that feels really nice. And then just begin to close the eyes. You can have the hands resting wherever they're comfortable. You'll have to ignore my voice because this hay fever will not go away, so it's making me sound all bunged up. And depending on whether you are bunged up in your nose and you need to breathe through your mouth, you may wish to breathe in gently through the nose and out through the nose. Or sometimes it is quite nice to breathe in through the nose and take a nice big sigh out through the mouth. So continue to sigh through the mouth like that. And with every sigh, just let go of anything that you've got going on or anything that you might have carried with you from yesterday, and just come into the present moment by just acknowledging that you're here, you've made it again, which is fantastic, and you're going to do your yoga practice this morning, so you just deserve a huge pat on the back. You can even give yourself a huge pat on the back. So just coming into the present moment, feeling those sensations in the body. So what does it feel like to be connected with the floor and with the seat? And then just start to focus the feeling of the breath within the body in this area. So like I said, we're going to be looking at the thoracic area, so all of this sort of part of the chest. So as you inhale, just see if you can direct the breath here, and it can be nice to place a hand on the chest. And just see if you can feel that gentle movement of the hand moving out with an inhale and moving back in on an exhale. It's just a very small movement. Directing the breath into the center of the chest. And see if you can take your attention to that 3D feeling of the lungs expanding with the inhale and contracting on an exhale. So you might feel it also in the back part of the lungs as well. So as you inhale, think about that full expansion, forwards, backwards, side to side of the lungs. And we're going to try and maintain this lovely, expansive feeling throughout the yoga practice. And if you do lose that, then you may want to take a position that's a little bit more accessible at that stage, and then work up to another position, because if you're panting and you're forgetting all about the breath, then that's not really what yoga is all about. And then this is also a nice opportunity to think about where we want our minds to be. Is there an area of your life that it feels a little bit closed, or maybe yourself, you'd like to be more open to something, maybe you'd like to try something new, but you've not done it yet. So just thinking about perhaps setting an intention for this feeling of openness. We're going to feel open in the body, and perhaps we'll feel a little bit more open in the mind as well. So with that lovely calm breath focus that we've managed to cultivate, we're going to bring that onto the mat. So very gently coming onto your mat. I've also got a little blanket here, which I'm going to use to pad my knees later. So you might need that. If you want a pillow just to help you go down into child's pose, then please get a pillow as well. So it's all about making this practice comfortable for you and getting the most out of it. That's why we use the props. And we're just going to come to lie down here. And I'm going to struggle a bit because this one requires quite a lot of space. So I'm just going to come over here just to show you. So we're going to lie down on our mat. And we're going to be taking our arms out to the side with the palms facing up. So I'll show you the movement sitting up first. So as you lie down, take the palms of your hands out. First, just settle in, make sure that your back's nice and long along the mat. And then as you inhale, you're going to take your arms up and then exhale the arms down. So they're coming out to the side as you lie down. I'll show you what that looks like. So settling in, making sure that the spine is nice and long. Taking the palms of the hands face up towards the sky and inhale, the arms come all the way up. Told you I'm going to lose space here. Towards the top of the mat, maybe have a little bit of a stretch here. Then as you exhale, bringing the arms down. So it's working with your own breath in order to do that. So again, I'm going to just come to a seated position to show you that, but you can continue to do this lying down. And you might want to close the eyes. And as the inhale initiates, that's when the movement starts. So inhale the arms all the way up. The arms should be above the head when you're at the top of your inhale. And then exhale, the arms come down. So continue to do that with your own breath. It's a really nice way to just do a little bit of gentle movement as you focus on the breath. Inhale, maybe a little reach, a little stretch, and then exhale all the way down. And then do one more like that. So you inhale, lying down, the arms sweep along the floor, and then you exhale, the hands come all the way down. Very good. Oh, I need to turn my sheet over. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to lie down. We're already lying down. with the arms relaxed by the side, we're just going to take the neck from side to side. So just taking the gaze from the left shoulder to the right shoulder, left, right. And then you may want to take your arms into some kind of cactus position like this, if that's comfy for you. If you prefer, have your arms in a kind of low V shape or even a high V shape. And that just helps us to feel a little bit of space around the neck. And we're opening up this chest area now. So I quite like this cactus arms feeling. Then you're going to take a really big stretch, a full body stretch. So you're pointing your feet and your heels to the end of your mat and you're reaching your fingertips to the other end. Inhale, expand the chest. And then as you exhale, curl in, pick up your knees and come into a big Apanasana cuddle. Inhale, shoot your arms and feet all the way out. Really extend through the body, expand through the chest. And then exhale, scoop the knees in, hug the knees, give us up a big hug. Inhale, come back out into your extended full body stretch. And then one more time, bring the knees into Apanasana, give yourself a cuddle. And then take your arms, legs, all the way out. Full body stretch. And then you're going to bring your arms down by the side of the body and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. So we're just going to gently come up onto our elbows here. Spend a moment here. This is a bit of, might look a bit weird, but we're just going to try and lift through the chest. And then you're going to come up all the way onto the palms of the hands. So you should have the feet about hip width apart. And again, make sure we've got a nice connection to the earth with the feet. So 4 corners of the feet pressing into the earth. And then you're going to inhale and again, just lift up through the chest. So press into the fingertips. Use that traction, use that resistance to press and lift the chest all the way up. And what we want to do is just keep the head in line with the neck. So don't drop it back and don't have the chin tucked down either. So just extend the spine and think of the head as an extension of the spine. Then we're going to press into the toes, engage the legs, the glutes, and then lift up into an upside down tabletop. Exhale, bring that back down. So we're going to do that a few times. Inhale, press into the toes, engage the legs, engage the glutes so that the knees don't splay all the way out. And then exhale down. And then we can do the same again, or if you wish to take the challenge, you can extend the legs out fully. So inhale to come up, and then reach the toes forward. And I'm trying not to hyperextend my arms as well, so I'm pressing into the fingers. And then if you really want to go for it, you can press your toes down towards the mat, which might give you cramp. Exhale, bend the knees and come forwards, and we'll just rest for a couple of breaths because that's a lot of work with the shoulders. So I'm going to take a few breaths here. And then we'll slowly bring the body back down towards the mat. And this is also a good place to notice those natural curves of the spine. So you should have the lower back slightly off the ground. The thoracic area, which is the area we're working on, that should be firmly planted on the ground here. And then you should feel a little lift where the back of your neck is, and then the head should be on the ground. So this is why we can think of the head as an extension of the spine, and rather than cranking it all the way back or all the way forwards in some positions, it's really good to just keep it in its sort of natural position here. So taking the palms of the hands and just planting them into the ground. We're having the feet at hip width apart, pressing into the toes, and again using that pressing into the toes to really engage the legs, lift up some of the muscles here, and then making sure that the arms stay down. We're going to just inhale and raise the hips gently and exhale down. So again, we're trying to go for that full expansion of the chest. So if we do that a couple more times, we're going to inhale, and then you can kind of work the shoulders down a little bit as you press into the toes, lift your hips. So you shouldn't feel any pinching in the back if you're engaging your legs, your thighs, and your glutes. So if you do feel a pinching, maybe don't come up quite as far and just work on getting that real support throughout this lower half of the body. Then exhale down. So I'm going to do a little bit of a flow from that bridge position, and then once we come out of it, we're going to just do a little mini crunch here. So just take the fingertips forward and start to engage the core muscles here. So inhale, exhale, plant the hands, then lift, inhale, breathe into the chest, and then exhale here, and then crunch, inhale, engage the core muscles, exhale, plant the hands, inhale, maybe lift a little bit more by pressing into the feet, engaging the muscles, and then exhale, and then inhale, and then exhale. And let's do one more little round from bridge. Make this your best bridge yet. So moving the shoulder blades down a little bit, creating space around the head. Breathe into the chest, exhale down. Inhale for your crunch, exhale down, and then we'll come back into a full body stretch here. Reaching the fingertips all the way up. I know my arms look very weird, my elbows and everything. And then exhale all the way down. Very good. And we're going to gently come to an all fours position now. And making sure that we've got knees under hips and wrists under shoulders. Inhale, and this is a really nice place to practice opening the chest. So don't allow the head to come all the way back, just keep it in line. We're opening the chest forwards towards that wall in front of us. And then exhale, we're going to dip the chest all the way down, round through the shoulders, through the back, press into the fingertips. So we should have a really solid foundation with our shins and our hands. Inhale, aim that chest all the way forwards. So it's less about flopping down here and more about really working the chest forwards, opening across the collarbones. Exhale round. Inhale to open. And exhale to round. And then just because it's Thursday, just because it's any day really, we can have a little bit of a wiggle here. So wiggle the bum, wiggle the shoulders. Sometimes it's nice to look over to the right and get a bit of a stretch on that side, and then look over to the left. You can take the hips down and really just have a little bit of freedom here. And then we're going to creep the hands forward, take the sit bones back, and this might be where you might want to use your pillow if that's more comfortable for you. And reach the fingertips all the way towards the front of the mat. This is an active child's pose with the arm. Pressing into the fingertips and using that to really stretch the spine and give the back a nice juicy stretch this morning, all the way from the tailbone to the crown of the head. So take the forehead down. And not only is this stretch happening from the tailbone to the crown of the head. It's extending all the way through to the fingertips as well. So you should be able to feel a bit of a stretch happening all the way along the body, around the shoulders. And whilst you're here, send the breath into this thoracic region. But this is actually a really nice place to feel the breath in the back of the body. So if you start to breathe, see if you can feel that expansion and contraction in the back of the body with the breath. And then press into the fingers, begin to lift back up into your tabletop position. And then again, we're going to make sure we've got a really strong foundation now. We're not flopping the belly down, we're not rounding the spine, we're somewhere in between in a nice neutral position, planting the feet into the ground. In fact, I'm going to use my blanket now to just pad my knees. So make sure we've got this really nice foundational position. Then we're going to reach the right hand forwards. So the palm is facing the left side. Then we're going to rotate the palm out, lift the hand all the way up to the ceiling. And then try and lift here, try and open the chest here. Exhale, point the fingertips to the back of the room, and then scoop the hand under to that first position again. So we're going to inhale and exhale as you just start to rotate and find that maximum movement with the shoulders, whilst aiming to keep the body, the rest of the body, kind of not moving. Mine's moving a little bit, but that's okay, because I'm still keeping strong in the foundation. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Then we're going to take the left fingertips and shoot them all the way to the front of the room. And the palm should be facing the right side. Inhale, lift, open the chest to the left side. Take the fingertips all the way back. Try and maintain that really strong foundation. And then just do one more. Inhale. And then exhale. And then bring the hips all the way back. We'll come into a little child's pose just for one breath. And then planting the forearms down, pressing into the fingertips, you're going to sweep your nose along the mat. And when it reaches level with the hands, you're going to press into the hands to lift up into your cat. So that's chest pressing towards the front of the room. Exhale, round and come all the way back down into child's pose. Plant the forearms into the ground, sweep the nose along the mat. Once it reaches just between your hands, you're going to press into the hands, work the muscles of the arm, the biceps. And then exhale and round. So try and make this a really nice smooth action with the breath. So as you inhale, sweep in the nose, press into the hands, really use those muscles. Exhale and round. And then once you do just one more little round, you're going to come all the way back to child's pose. And then you're going to lift onto your knees and just open up here. So open, smile. Smile, it's Thursday morning. And then exhale, take the hands down again, back into child's pose. Sweep the nose along the mat, press into the fingertips, and then round. So we go child's pose, and then we go open. A little bit of a back bend, breathing into the chest, opening up here. And then child's pose. Sweep the nose, press into the hands, cat, and then cow, and then come all the way down. Open up here. Feel that expansion, expanding the chest in all directions, expanding the mind as well. And then exhale, come all the way down. And we'll just spend a breath or two in your child's pose. So just taking a few seconds in your child's pose. And then I'm going to take this padding away for a moment. And so from child's pose, you're going to press into the fingertips, lift all the way up. And then you're going to bring your hips down towards the mat. So we're in a modified up dog now. And we're just going to try and open and expand through the shoulders and through the collarbones. The legs should be down on the mat and should have a really strong foundation in your hands, your arms straight to support the upper body. And then from here, we're going to tuck the toes under, press into the fingertips and lift up and back into our downward facing dog. We're going to move this into a little bit of a sun salutation to get the body moving, get ready for our day. So press into both of the feet, bend the knees, pressing into the toes, and then just use that little bit of leverage from the feet to really push the hips, push the bum all the way in the air, wiggle the bum. And then you're going to exhale and tippy toe the feet forwards to the front of the mat. Inhale here and then exhale down. Take the head between the legs, or take the gaze between the legs, I should say. Press into the toes, lift, lead with the chest. So to slow this movement down, coming up from Uttanasana forward fold, we're bending into the knees, opening and lifting through the chest so that the spine is in this neutral position as if we're lying down. And then you come up really slowly, bring the arms all the way up, have a little bit of a back bend, just as we did when we were kneeling down. Now it's a little bit harder to see. There we go. So just as we did when we were kneeling, we're going to open at the top of the mat and just really lift open into a big V shape, opening this entire thoracic area. Just realised I should probably put that. There we go, that's a bit better. So we're at the front of the mat. Inhale, expand. Exhale, bend the knees, come all the way down again through this very nice long spine. We're going to come all the way down. Bend at the knees, bring the fingertips to the mat, and then we're going to take the right leg all the way back. And then come onto that right knee. So you can pad the knees here if you wish. Then bring the left knee back. And we're going to bring the body weight forwards over our hands, tuck the elbows in. So we did this, I think it was Monday's one. We're going to very, very slowly dip down in our chaturanga. Just making sure you can see me still. So we've come down into this position. So our hands are just under our shoulders, the tops of our feet are down on the mat, and then we're going to press into the tops of the feet, which will lift the knees because it's activating all the muscles in the legs. The glutes should fire up here as well. Then you're going to inhale and very slowly lift into Bhujangasana or Cobra pose, which is using all those muscles in the lower back. So you can test yourself, take your hands off the ground and just make sure that your lower back muscles are working here. Breathe into the thoracic area. We're opening up. I mean, you can do some crazy things with the arms as well. You can lift them up and say, I'm open, like this. And then exhale down. Tuck the toes under, bring the hips up and back, and we're going to go into a downward dog here. If downward dog is not suitable for you today, for whatever reason, you can come into a puppy pose instead by bringing the knees down Extending the fingertips forward, head comes down towards the mat, and it gives us that same action of really elongating through the spine. And then we can take a little bit of a stretch through the legs and the hip. So bringing your left foot into the center of where both feet were before, so center of the mat, extending the right leg all the way up, and then we can bend the knee and just begin to tip and open up to the right side. Maybe take some circles here. That's also really nice to do. We're just mixing it up now. Inhale, bring your right foot to the front of the mat, then the left foot. Inhale here, exhale down. Maybe take a little bit of a sway from side to side. And then press into the toes, bend the knees, open the chest all the way out. Take the arms out. Inhale, lift the arms. And come all the way into a back bend here. Exhale, the arms come down. So again, we're going to take a sun salutation. You're going to inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, the arms come down, bend at the knees. And then inhale, press into the fingertips, take the left foot back this time. Ooh, just had a little click there. And then take the right foot back, drop the knees. With the body weight forwards over the hands, we're going to tuck the elbows in, exhale, bring the body all the way down to the floor. And then press into the tops of the feet, engage the legs, engage the glutes. And then lift up into our beautiful Bhujangasana pose. We're only using those back muscles to lift here. We're opening up the collarbones, breathing into this thoracic area. Exhale down. And then press into the fingertips to lift up and back into your down dog or puppy pose. Inhale, really engage the shoulder blades down the back. Press into the feet to lift the hips up into the air. And then again, we'll bring the left leg all the way up. Bend at the knee. Open up to the left side. Take a couple of circles here with the left knee. Trying to keep the foundation of our hands and our feet nice and steady. Then bring that left foot all the way forward. Join it with the right foot. Inhale. Exhale to come to our forward fold. Bend at knees, open up the chest area to lift all the way up. And then exhale down. And then we're going to come to lie down on the mat now. So just take your time and get in here. And then I'm going to place a hand or two hands onto this top part of the lungs, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Before we come into relaxation, you may want to take a little bit of a full body stretch here. You may want to tuck the knees under and give yourself a hug and rock from side to side. You may want to do some other movements. And if lying down with your legs out long is not suitable for your back, then you might want to have the knees up and tented together. So the soles of the feet on the ground. I'm going to come into a lying down position and just take a few moments to notice the breath, that flow, that rise and fall of the breath. And again, this is a nice place to firstly say well done to yourself for getting up, for doing your Thursday morning flow. But it's also a good place to think about opening the mind. Where do we want to feel more open to? What kind of things do we want to feel more open to? Are there any obstacles in our way? Can we open our hearts a little bit more to what's going on in the world around us? And if you wish, you can bring a focus onto a mantra. You can say something like, "My heart is open." And every time you take a breath, you can repeat that mantra either out loud, because you might be at home, so it doesn't matter. Or you might want to just repeat that mantra to yourself in your head. My heart is open. And you may wish to stay there forever. It would be lovely, but that's really your choice. I'm going to have to go. But it's been great to do this Thursday flow with you, and I really hope you've enjoyed it. So let me know what you think, leave some comments, and I will see you for our final day of the morning flows, the live morning flows, tomorrow morning on Friday. Thank you.